The first update we have today is on the recently released memoir, My Good Side, by reality star Scheana Shay. In this video, we'll be talking about the candid revelations she makes. Scheana certainly laid it all out, didn't she? Her memoir dives straight into this huge list of famous men she was involved with. We're talking A-listers like John Mayer, Jesse Metcalfe, members of NSYNC like Chasez, even actors from The Notebook, plus several NFL, NBA, MLB players.
Her account, it sheds light on the stark differences back then, particularly, before social media was everywhere. This shift she mentions, seeking a more under-the-radar connection, that feels like a really significant turning point for her. A desire for something more grounded, maybe, away from the constant scrutiny.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And she doesn't hold back on the details either. Like, she describes John Mayer as very much a gentleman, but then casually mentions his fondness for phone sex, quite the revelation. And she talks about awkward post-breakup run-ins, how they went from stiff hugs to just, like, handshakes. She even copped to dishing about it with Andy Cohen during commercial breaks on Watch What Happens Live.
Right.
And her college crush, Jesse Metcalfe, she calls that romance intense, says he was an absolute sweetheart. Then there's Shemar Moore, running into him at a Super Bowl party, hooking up. It almost evokes a kind of bygone era of Hollywood dating, doesn't it?
It really does. And Scheana herself points that out, how privacy fears have fundamentally changed how celebrities interact now. She suspects she couldn't get the guys she used to if she weren't married with a kid today. Her narrative illuminates a time of maybe more spontaneous interactions, less scrutiny than today's curated lives.
Definitely. But it's not all celebrity dating stories. The memoir also plunges into some profoundly personal and pretty shocking moments, like this incident from her 2014 wedding to her former husband, Mike Shay. She'd specifically asked Mike not to drink that day, wanting them to remember everything. But she starts noticing his behavior getting more and more erratic. He even failed to perform a song he'd written just for her, which, wow, that must have been heartbreaking.
Yes, and the full story, the really startling part, only came out weeks later. Scheana recalls Tom Sandoval offering little blue pills at his house, claiming they were ecstasy. And Mike, apparently looking completely perplexed, immediately recognized them. Said it was the same pill Sandoval gave him at the wedding, telling him it was Adderall. And that moment, it's more than just a wild story. It profoundly highlights the hidden pressures, the vulnerabilities often masked by public personas, especially around personal struggles like addiction, which, as we know, later became a core issue for Mike.
Mike apparently just wanted Adderall to stay awake, not to get, fecked up on his wedding night. It's a pretty shocking detail. It clarifies so much about that day and maybe their relationship too. She and Mike did eventually divorce because of his addiction issues, but she says they're in a good place now. She genuinely believes he'll make someone very happy one day. Next update, we have about some really candid revelations from Scheana Shay about what goes on behind the scenes at Vanderpump Rules.
Oh yeah, she's spilling some tea in her new memoir, My Good Side. Well, she talks about what she calls a secret demotion and a pay cut she took for seasons 8 and 10.
A secret demotion? How does that work if you're still on the show?
Exactly. She illuminates the situation by saying production basically told her, look, the audience won't know. You'll still be in every episode, still in the opening credits as main cast. We just need to save some money.
Wow. So same work, less pay, but maintain the appearance.
Pretty much. And apparently it wasn't just her. She says James Kennedy got the same treatment in season 8 and Kristen Doty got it in season 7. It really highlights the kind of financial maneuvering that can happen.
So she was doing the same job for less money. How did she feel about that at the time? Was she okay with it?
Well, she depicts herself back then as people-pleasing Scheana. So she went above and beyond, like giving them her wedding for season 10's storyline, helping bridge new cast with the OGs in season 8, all while taking this reduced pay.
But her perspective has changed now.
It seems so. She says now she's actually grateful for that season 8 demotion because it pushed her to start her YouTube channel and her podcast, which eventually led to this memoir.
Found a silver lining then?
Sort of. But she also clarifies that after the whole Scandoval thing blew up...
Right, the big cheating scandal.
Yeah. After that, she contacted production, felt valued again, and was back on her normal salary for season 11.
Interesting how a massive scandal can shift the power dynamics.
Definitely. And get this, she notes that Tom Sandoval was actually the only cast member who fought for her to get her pay restored back then.
Really? That's surprising.
Isn't it? Given everything else, it's a fascinating look behind the curtain. And you mentioned something about a scene being totally scripted.
Yeah, that caught my eye. What was that about?
She revealed that she, Lala Kent, Ariana Madix, and Katie Maloney absolutely scripted the season 9 finale themselves, without production even knowing.
They scripted it themselves. Why?
She illustrates the scene. They planned to basically fake a fight. It was about Brock Davies, her now husband, and Scheana supposedly trying to steal the spotlight from James Kennedy and Rachel Levis's engagement.
Okay.
And the reason? Pure desperation over wanting to save our jobs and get another season. They felt they needed to deliver drama.
Wow. Taking matters into their own hands?
Totally. She even joked that Katie Maloney couldn't quite play her part because she'd hit an open bar.
Oh, dear.
So Lala had to step up and do her job to provoke the argument, which then led to Ariana delivering that iconic line, "Babe, I was born cool."
So that's the origin of that line.
Really changes how you might see that scene, right?
Absolutely. And Scheana also shared something deeply personal, too, about her husband, Brock, having an affair.
Yes, very personal. She revealed she found out about Brock Davies having an affair right around the same time that Scandoval broke.
Oh, wow. Terrible timing.
Yeah, but she clarifies she deliberately chose not to tell Ariana Madix about it then.
Why not? You'd think they could relate or confide.
Her reasoning, she emphasizes, was that she didn't want a trauma dump on Ariana when Ariana was already going through such intense public trauma with the Sandoval situation.
That's considerate, in a way.
She said she cared more about Ariana's well-being and mental health than dealing with her own stuff publicly at that moment. Didn't want opinions, didn't want people telling her to leave Brock while she was still processing it herself.
Next, we are going to talk about a really recent and pretty intense legal development involving Denise Richards, from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, this one escalated quickly. So Denise's estranged husband, Aaron Phypers, he filed a police report against Denise back on July 21st.
Okay. And the accusations?
Pretty serious stuff. He's accusing her of vandalism, theft, and assault.
Wow.
It apparently stems from an argument they had on the 4th of July. He claims she smashed his phone.
Why? But what was the alleged reason?
Well, Aaron alleges it was to destroy evidence he supposedly had screenshotted from her laptop. Evidence, he claims, of her cheating.
Okay, that's explosive.
It is, and he didn't stop there. He further claims that when he asked where the phone was, he eventually found it in the trash. Apparently, she hit him and scratched him. And, this isn't entirely out of the blue in terms of public accusations. He's previously publicly accused her of having a Vicodin addiction for over a decade.
So a really dramatic set of accusations from Aaron. How is Denise responding to all this? I mean, legally and publicly.
Well, Denise, through her attorney, Brett Berman, has come back strong.
As you'd expect.
Right. Her attorney clarifies that Aaron has actually continued to harass her even after she got a temporary restraining order against him.
Okay.
And she depicts his actions as repeated abuse perpetrated by Mr. Phypers throughout their marriage. She also claims he's disseminated private information from her stolen cell phone and laptop.
So she's framing him as the abuser and harasser.
Exactly. And her attorney made a point of saying she'll address his abuse in court, not play it out in the public sphere, which is, a smart legal tactic.
It certainly evokes a very, very troubled picture of what that relationship was like towards the end. And I think you mentioned a small detail about a recent public appearance.
It's just a little tidbit, but maybe significant. Denise was seen out in L.A. over the weekend with her oldest daughter, Sammy Sheen, and she wasn't wearing her wedding ring.
Interesting. Okay, next update we have about another Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star, this time someone new joining the cast, who's also facing a huge life change, Rachel Zoe.
That's right. Rachel Zoe filed for divorce from Roger Berman. This was on Monday, July 21st, filed in Los Angeles.
And the reasons cited?
Just the standard irreconcilable differences. She's asking for joint physical and legal custody of their two sons, Skylar, who's 14, and Caius, who's 10.
Okay. Now, they announced their separation a while ago, didn't they?
They did. That's what's quite interesting here. The public confirmation was nearly a year ago, after 26 years of marriage? 33 years together total.
That's a long time together.
A very long time. But the legal documents list the date of separation as June 27th, 2024. So much more recently.
Any idea why the delay or the recent date?
It's hard to say for sure. Sometimes it takes time to sort things out before the formal filing, or maybe something specific happened around that June date that finalized the decision legally.
And what about the money side of things? Spousal support.
Ah, yes. Rachel actually declined spousal support for herself.
Okay.
And she also asked the court to basically block Roger's ability to potentially collect spousal support from her.
So she's drawing a clear line financially.
Seems that way. Protecting her assets, signaling financial independence post-marriage.
And it's just so interesting how this timing lines up perfectly with her joining the cast of RHOBH.
Right. It's a huge moment for her. She announced she was joining the cast in June, And Andy Cohen even commented on it, said he was really rocked by the news of her breakup.
Did he think she was a good fit for the show, despite the personal turmoil?
Oh, yeah. He said Rachel really fits because she already knows several cast members, Kathy Hilton, Kyle, Boz, Jennifer Tilly, Sutton Strack.
Right, she has those connections.
Exactly. And he pointed out she's at a real transitional moment in her life, which, let's be honest, often makes for compelling reality TV.
True. Season 15 is filming now, right?
Yep, currently in production. So expect this divorce and transition to likely be a major storyline for her.
Next update we have about a really startling incident involving another RHOBH alum, Teddi Mellencamp.
Yeah, this is genuinely frightening. There was an attempted burglary at Teddi's home in Encino. It's reportedly a $6.49 million house.
And when did this happen?
Monday night, July 21st. And the really scary part, Teddi, her 3 kids, Slate, Cruz, and Dove, and her estranged husband, Edwin Arroyo, were all home at the time.
Oh my God, that's terrifying. What happened? Did they get in?
Well, the security footage apparently depicts 3 men, all dressed in black, wearing gloves, carrying a backpack. They hopped the gate, got into the driveway, then went into the backyard through a fence.
But they didn't get inside the house.
Thankfully, no. The footage shows them running back out just moments later. It seems like something spooked them.
That must have been incredibly frightening for everyone inside. How are they doing now?
They put out a joint statement on Instagram, said everyone was unharmed, thankfully, but definitely shaken up. They credited their security system for scaring the intruders off.
And Edwin, isn't security his line of work?
Yes, exactly. There's a poignant connection there. He actually explained once that the whole idea for his company, Skyline Security, came after he had a gun held to his head when he was just 18. So this must have hit very close to home for him.
Wow. Talk about a personal motivation.
For sure. And law enforcement sources apparently told TMZ that the same suspects had actually burglarized a neighbor's house just before trying Teddi and Edwin's place.
So it was a targeted area, potentially?
Seems likely. And all this is happening while Teddi and Edwin are, still going through their divorce. Teddi filed back in November 2024. She's seeking spousal support and also asked to block Edwin from getting support from her, similar to Rachel Zoe.
Okay, next update we have about some sad news now from the Real Housewives of Miami family. This concerns Leah Black.
Yes, unfortunately, Leah Black's husband, Roy Black, passed away. He was 80 years old.
Oh, that's very sad news. He was quite a famous figure in his own right, wasn't he?
Absolutely. A very high-profile criminal defense attorney. He passed away on Monday, July 21st, at their home in Coral Gables after an illness, though the specifics weren't disclosed.
And Leah confirmed it.
Yes, she posted on Instagram confirming the news, thanking fans for their support and mentioning they're planning a tribute for him.
What an impressive career he had, just legendary in legal circles.
Truly. His own law partner, Howard Schrebnick, called him the greatest criminal lawyer of our generation, perhaps in American history. He had this incredible record of achieving acquittals over 50 years in really tough cases.
Amazing.
He's survived by Leah, their son RJ, and also a daughter, Nora, from a previous relationship.
And it's interesting, wasn't there a story about how Leah and Roy met connected to his work?
Yes. Leah actually met Roy when she was serving as a juror on one of his trials.
No way.
Yeah. Quite the meet-cute story. And she also shared once that despite his incredibly busy schedule, Roy even made time to watch Real Housewives.
That does illustrate how pervasive these shows are, doesn't it? Even reaching someone like Roy Black.
It really does. A testament to the show's cultural reach, I suppose.
Okay, next update we have about some interesting dynamics playing out over at the Real Housewives of Orange County. Seems to be focused around Gina, Emily, and Tamra.
Yeah, there's quite a bit stirring in the OC. A lot of it revolves around who might be coming back or who people don't want back.
Okay, like who?
Well, Katie Janela seems to be a big point of contention. Gina Kirschenheiter was pretty blunt. She said she'd seriously question whether I wanted to be on RHOC next year if Katie returns. Says she hasn't even seen Katie in ages.
So, not a fan, clearly. What else did Gina say?
Interestingly, she gave props to Shannon Bedore, praised Shannon for continuing to film despite her DUI and the lawsuit from her ex, John Jansen. Gina acknowledged Shannon's mistakes, but appreciated her showing up and being resilient.
A bit of grace there.
Yeah. And Gina also weighed in on producers bringing back Alexis Bellino, who, dated Shannon's ex, John Jansen.
Talk about awkward.
Right. But Gina clarifies she thinks that was probably just a happy accident for the show's drama, not some deliberate plot by producers to torture Shannon.
An interesting perspective on production's motives. Now, what about Emily Simpson? Does she feel the same way about Katie Janela?
Oh, Emily seems even more strongly against Katie. She echoes Gina's feelings, definitely. Emily eliminates her position by saying she flat out refused to film with Katie after their very first meeting back in the premiere episode.
Refused to film? Why?
She called Katie's approach sort of an eat or be eaten mentality really alienating. Emily believes Katie is deceptive.
Deceptive how?
She highlights that incident where Katie apparently filmed Shannon having a meltdown. Emily called that a serious breach of trust and an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, that would definitely break trust.
For sure. Emily sounds pretty confident Katie won't be asked back for season 20 because of things like that.
So very anti-Katie. What about Alexis Bellino? Emily mentioned her too, right?
Yes. Interestingly, Emily said she would take Alexis any day over Katie.
Really? Why?
She described Alexis as being like a Labrador, maybe a bit goofy, a ding-dong, Emily said. But what you see is what you get. It's to your face.
Ah, okay.
Emily acknowledges Alexis went wrong in a lot of things in season 18, but she doesn't hold hard feelings. Although she did add she wouldn't go to Alexis and John Jansen's wedding if they had one, just to avoid hurting Shannon's feelings.
Loyalty to Shannon there. Okay, so that's Gina and Emily. Now, Tamra Judge always has a lot to say. What's she been revealing?
Tamra's been talking on her podcast. She described why she briefly left RHOC a while back. Said it was because she confronted someone about something, that person denied it, acted like nothing happened, and that convinced Tamra they were guilty. Very cryptic.
Intriguing. Did she mention Katie Janela?
She did. She hinted about a dark, explosive season finale coming up that involved Katie, where apparently somebody got left behind. She didn't explicitly say it was Katie who got left, but the implication seemed pretty strong.
Ooh, drama awaits.
Seems like it. Tamra also brought up Katie apparently communicating secretly with a blogger, comparing to Jennifer Aydin's situation over on Jersey, and basically said it was not smart. You know, breaking the unspoken rules.
Right. And Tamra also revisited her old feud with Gretchen Rossi. That's been going on forever.
Hasn't it? Tamra described it as 12 years of Gretchen attacking her on social media, called it gross and weird.
Ouch.
Tamra notes that Gretchen just can't move forward and seems to think the show works the same way it did 15 years ago. Tamra kind of compared Gretchen's return attempt to Alexis Bellino coming back.
So basically saying Gretchen's stuck in the past.
Pretty much. But shifting to a more serious and personal note, Tamra also gave an update on her podcast co-host, Teddi Mellencamp, and her health struggles.
Right. We talked about the burglary attempt, but Teddi's also been dealing with melanoma, hasn't she? How is she doing?
Tamra explains that Teddi is, in her words, doing the best she can do. She's on immunotherapy indefinitely, which sounds tough, but there's some positive news. Some of the tumors have actually shrunk.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
It really is. And Tamra illustrates Teddi's incredible resilience. Apparently, when Tamra had briefly quit RHOC, it was Teddi who convinced her to go back to filming.
Teddi convinced Tamra while going through cancer treatment.
Yes. Teddi basically told Tamra, if I have to go through this and put a brave face on, you got to get up and do your job.
Wow. That's powerful.
Incredibly powerful. And Tamra mentioned this was particularly poignant because Teddi was also dealing with memory issues from brain surgery during that filming period.
Just immense strength.
Truly. And finally, Tamra also opened up a bit about her own struggles with filming, specifically the therapy sessions shown on the show.
Those can be really raw.
Exactly. She said it was incredibly difficult, forced her to revisit some horrible past traumas, her divorce from Simon Barney, her ongoing estrangement from her daughter, Sydney. She's apparently learning through therapy that some sensory issues she experiences are linked to emotions she buried from her childhood.
That's heavy stuff to unpack on camera.
For sure. It really brings to life the personal cost that can sometimes come with this level of public exposure.
Absolutely.